Every great business, every successful campaign, every killer idea, they've all got this one thing in common: a secret weapon. And nope, it's not luck. It's the prep work, the homework, the blueprint that turns a wild guess into a sure thing. And in this explainer, we're going to build that blueprint together. I mean, think about it. Why do some totally brilliant ideas just take off and soar, while others that seem just as good crash and burn? The difference, honestly, is rarely the idea itself. It's all about knowing the terrain. Would you ever try to navigate a maze blindfolded? Of course not. Well, that's exactly what launching something without research is like. And this is how we take that blindfold off. Market research isn't some kind of mystical art. It's a really disciplined process. It's about collecting clues, connecting the dots, and making smarter, way more confident decisions. To put it simply, it replaces guesswork with actual evidence. So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the why, then we'll get our toolkit together. After that, we'll dive into the 3 big pillars of insight: your customer, your competition, and the future. And finally, we'll pull it all together to forge some powerful, data-driven decisions. Ready? Let's do it. All right, so let's start with the big question. Before we even get into the how-to, we really need to get why research is the absolute, unshakable foundation for any kind of success. And look, this isn't just for massive Fortune 500 companies. For business, sure, research is all about finding your spot in the market and winning. But for a student, it's like a superpower. It helps you ace a project, build a killer business plan, or walk into an interview already knowing the entire landscape. It really is a universal skill for spotting opportunities. Okay, now for the fun part. Let's open up the toolbox. We're going to look at the essential gear you're going to need to build out your blueprint. Think of it like cooking. Secondary research, that's like using a trusted cookbook. You're using awesome industry reports and data that are already out there. Primary research, on the other hand, is like creating your own recipe from scratch. You're talking directly to people, running your own surveys. And here's a little pro tip. Always start with secondary research to get the lay of the land. Then you can use primary research to answer those specific burning questions that are left over. I know this might look a little complex, but it's really just a simple, logical flow. You start with a super clear question, like, what do I actually need to know? From there, you design a plan, you collect the data, you analyze it for patterns, and then, most importantly, you turn what you found into real, concrete action. It's the path from a question to a decision. Now we're moving on to our first major pillar, the customer. This is the absolute heart of research. Why? Well, because if you don't understand people, you can't possibly understand the market. Everything, and I mean everything, starts right here. We're not talking about faceless data points here. The goal is to create what's called a buyer persona, basically a fictional character who represents your perfect customer. What's their age and income? Yeah, that's part of it. But what's way more important is, what do they value? What motivates them? How do they actually decide what to buy? Building this persona turns abstract data into a real person you can design for and speak to. So you know your customer. Awesome. But you're not operating in a vacuum, right? Our second pillar is all about mapping out the competitive landscape. Who else is out there? What are they doing really well? And probably most importantly, where are the gaps that you can slide into? The SWOT analysis is your secret weapon here. It's a simple grid, but it's so powerful. You analyze your competitors' internal strengths, like a really famous brand name, and their weaknesses. Maybe their delivery is super slow. Then you look outside for external opportunities, like a new social media trend, and threats, like a new rival opening up down the street. Filling this out gives you a complete strategic snapshot so you can find your own unique edge. So we know the customer, and we know the competition right now. But what about tomorrow? This third pillar is all about spotting trends, understanding seasonality, and trying to anticipate what's coming around the corner. A simple chart like this really says it all. You can use a free tool like Google Trends and see that demand for winter coats peaks in the cold months and basically disappears in the summer. Now that seems obvious, right? But understanding these patterns, both the seasonal spikes and the bigger long-term trends, is absolutely crucial for timing your moves perfectly. And now, this is where it all comes together. You've gathered all this incredible data on your customers, your competition, and the market trends. But how in the world do you turn that mountain of information into one single actionable strategy? This right here is the ultimate payoff. It's your market opportunity statement, and it boils down all your research into one powerful sentence. It answers 3 key questions.
Who are you helping? What problem are you solving? And why are you the best one to do it? This sentence becomes your strategic North Star.
So just remember, research isn't just about collecting a bunch of facts and figures. It's about uncovering the story that's hidden inside the data, a story about what people need, where the market is going, and how you fit into that picture. Your data is telling you that story right now. The only question left is, are you ready to listen?